yourself a co-partner who has the money, and he'll put up the money and be the co-general partner with you, or he's got credit with the bank or something of that nature. So it can either be your own resources, or you syndicate the co-partner, the general partnership, by bringing in an investor or two to come in. So the money, then you can say, well, we, the sponsors, the general partner, let's call it the sponsor, he's the guy that puts together the deal. We, the sponsors, have got X dollars in this deal or more. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
So basically, that person who becomes your sponsor, becomes your partner, everything you split with him?
Yeah, well, that's a matter of negotiation. I mean, he may want, if he's putting up a lot of money, let's say, in our deals, if somebody brings us a project, say, okay, we'll put up 90% of the sponsorship money, you put up 10% of it, and after we all get a return, you can have 25% of the profit. You put up 10% of the money, but you get 25% of the profit, because you found a deal that we liked and wanted. So syndication is merely carrying leverage one step further. Does everybody understand how leverage works? Leverage is borrowing at a lower rate than the return. So that boosts the return on equity. Typical borrowing on real estate today is 65% with a bank loan. So it's roughly 2 times the equity. So if you have a property which you're buying for $100,000 and you're putting in $35,000, and the return in the absence of debt, which is called the cap rate, is 8%. But you're going to borrow at 5%, and you have, but remember, the mortgage payment usually includes the principal. So let's say the mortgage payment is 6%. All right, you got that? I'm going to ask a question here.
So let's take
Right.
we can do one more question, and then we can
Okay.
submit it.
Okay. What we have here, this is what it's all about. Leverage. You borrow at 5. You're constant. That is, principal and interest is 6. The property is showing 8. What's my return on equity? Are you going to answer that?
1 or 2? 2.
No. What?
2%.
No. What's my return on equity? 8% was the return free and clear. What's my return when I financed the property on my 1/3 down? 8% was the free and clear return. Come on, we got college.
10%.
What?
10%.
No.
12.
12. That guy is the only one who graduated.
Never went to college.
Well, that shows you. You can look at some of these big corporations, you'll find that the owners are people that didn't go to college. People that run it went to college, but the owners did not. Don, you say we're out of time?
I think we
Explain how you get 12.
Sorry?
How'd you get to
Explain how you get 12.
We get 12 because 8% was on the free and clear. So on my equity, I'm making 8%, but then I'm making 2% times 2. Somebody had that part of it, right? That's 4, right? 4 and 8 is 12. Because the loan is twice as big as the equity. So the override you multiply by 2. The difference between 6 and 8 is 2. The loan is twice as big as the equity, so that means the override was 4. And that's what it's all about. Now, syndication And then syndication is just carrying that leverage, over to the equity side. I have $10,000 to invest. I can buy a $30,000 property, and it's all mine. We don't have to deal with investors. Somebody was mentioning that, or any problems. I can take it all, 100% of the profit. And I'm gonna make on my $10,000, 10%. Or I can go out and buy, instead of a $30,000 property, a $300,000 property. Raise $100,000, for which I put up 10%. And the investors put up 90, and make a deal with them where it's a 75-25 split. I get 25% of the profits for being the guy putting it together, running it, and they get 75% of the profits. But what have I done? Now I'm only going to make 7.5% on my 10,000, because the investors, including myself, get 75% of the profit. But I'm also going to make 9 times, I'm going to make 25% of the profit for being syndicated. So 25 and 7.5 is what? Come on.
32.5.
Yeah, these guys that have to use calculators, forget it. Don't go in this business if you have to use a calculator. You got to do it in your head. 32.5%. So it's, by being a syndicator, I boosted my return from 10 to 32.5. That's what the motivation is for syndication. It's carrying the leverage into the equity side. Okay?
Excellent. All right, so maybe, can you stay around for a little while to go have questions individually? Awesome. All right, everyone.